In these examples, we're asked to simplify the following fractions. So part A, we have 5 minus t and 5 minus t on both top and bottom. Like a normal fraction, you can cancel anything that's divided by itself. So 2 divided by 2 is the same as 1. In this particular case, 5 minus t divided by 5 minus t is 1, which means that we're left just with t plus 1 and t minus 3, which is our end answer. In the second example, we have a keep, flip, change scenario. So we're going to keep our first fraction, we're going to flip our second, and we'll change the sign to our times instead. So we're going to keep, flip, change, and then cancel anything that we can cancel. So when we do this, we'll have the first fraction the same. We're going to write what was on the bottom on the top of our second fraction, and then we're going to change that sign to a times. Now what you'll notice here is that we have some things that are the same. So the 7s are the same. So the x plus 7s are the same. X minus 2 and x minus 2 will cancel, and x plus 4 and x plus 4. Once we do this, we're only left with x plus 7 on the top and x minus 7 on the minus 6 on the bottom, which is our end answer. Example C is a case where we have to factorize. So as soon as you have something with like b squared, for instance, you need to look to try to factorize this so that we can cancel out some of our factors like we've done in the previous questions. So looking at this, the very first term, b squared minus 36, that's a difference of perfect squares, so we can automatically write that as b minus 6, b plus 6. The bottom, we're looking for two values that multiply to give 36 and add to give 12, so we've got b plus 6 and b plus 6. We're going to pull out that 2 as a common factor on the top of the second fraction, and the bottom, two values that multiply to give negative 12 and add to give negative 4, and those two values are negative 6 and 2. So we're up to cancelling. So we're going to cancel here b plus 2 and b plus 2, b plus 6 and b plus 6. When we do this, we're left with b minus 6, b plus 6, plus 2 on b minus 6. Now, in order for us to add these together, you have to have the same denominator, and at this point we do not. So we're going to multiply top and bottom here by b minus 6, and here we'll multiply top and bottom by b plus 6, which leaves us with b minus 6, b minus 6, and b plus 6, b minus 6 on the bottom. We're going to add the top to b plus 6. So this part here has come from multiplying b plus 6 by 2 here. The bottoms are the same for this fraction and this fraction, which has meant we can add the top. Now, simplifying this or expanding this, we have simplifying the 36 and the 12 to get 48. And that would be our end answer in this particular question, with the bottom being expanded to b squared minus 36. I'm leaving my answer as a expanded form because my question was given in expanded form. In example D, we're looking to find the lowest common multiple of 5 and 7 in order to be able to add these two fractions together. So the lowest common multiple is 35. So if I multiply 5 by 7, I also have to multiply k by 7 as well. And same deal on the other side, we're going to multiply 7 by 5, which means we have to multiply the numerator by 5 as well. This, when simplified, is 7k on 35 plus 10k on 35. Adding together the tops, so 7k plus 10k, and we get 17k on 35, our end answer. Example E, it's the same deal, we're just now dealing with expressions instead of numbers, or instead of simple numbers. So I'm going to go for a lowest common multiple, which is going to be 6, which means I only have to multiply this side, and I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 3. So 2 times 3 and g plus 1 times 3. It's important to note that when you times by the 3, it's g times 3 and it's 1 times 3. So the solution to that would be 3g plus 3. And then we're going to minus the 3 minus g, and divide by 6. Now notice that I've put the 3 minus g in a bracket. That's because this minus affects both the 3 and the negative g. So minus and negative is going to be plus. So my next step, when I simplify this, I'm going to have 3g plus 3 minus 3 plus g. This bracket here is really important and you should always include it. My 3 minus 3 cancel out, and I'm just going to be left with the 4g on 6. That's an unsimplified fraction, so 2 goes into 4 and it goes into 6 evenly. So if I divide by 2, I'll get 2g. Example F. We've now got our denominators being our expressions, so x plus 1 and x minus 2. In order to get the lowest common multiple of these two, we actually just multiply them by each other. So if we multiply x plus 1 by x minus 2, then we've got to do that to the top as well. So top and bottom multiplied by x minus 2. And on this side, if we multiply by x plus 1, i.e. this denominator multiplied here, and we do the top as well, we're going to have a lowest common multiple, or our denominator is going to be x plus 1 and x minus 2, which means we can add our numerators, which are now this expression up the top here. And if we expand what we've got on the top and simplify that down, we're going to have 4x plus 3x, so 7x, and then minus 5, still on the denominator of x plus 1, x minus 2.